My interest in the environment started when I was young, probably 7, 8, 9 years old. My father took me hunting, fishing, camping, trapping, hiking. And one of the things that I was always interested in is what our place was in the environment. We would go to the park and there were fences or certain trails we were supposed to stay on. And for decades I thought that our place in the environment was to watch it, to not be a part of it, but to watch it as it passed by us.
I grew up in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and it's a pretty natural place, not too heavily developed. As I got older, sort of in the teenage rebellion phase, I started questioning a lot more things, and one of the big turning points for me was Ishmael by Daniel Quinn, and it opened up my eyes to a lot of material that's out there.
I don't think my knowledge of the environment was any more or less than any other, I'd say, average American. But when I was in grad school, the opportunity arose that I could work on environmental problems. It was less me finding the environment rather than the environment finding me.
Sustainability means that we're not only living in accord with the land that we're inhabiting, but we're also giving back to and improving that land.
Sustainability is essentially a recycling of nutrients and materials. You have a group of people living on a piece of land. Everything that they take from the environment comes from that land. All of their wastes go back into that land too. It can continue across generations without needing to go outside of that land base.
The way I assess organizations as a sociologist is I look to see what resources are put behind particular issues. Now certainly you need to be able to do what you're primarily here to do. Can you do that and still be environmentally conscious?
One of the great things about Washington College is that it truly supports teaching and research along these lines.
My research has revolved around carbon sequestration, how to pull carbon out of the air using agricultural programs.
We have sustainability from many different disciplines. We have archaeology, we have people in anthropology, we have people in the sciences, we have people in economics. All of the decisions we make in all aspects of our lives have impacts on sustainability.
We're all just one part of a bigger system, but we act like we not only own the system, but we can use it and manipulate it and act like there's no effect.
Because really, the only sort of sustainable lifestyle is one in which you're not extracting resources from the land that use up more energy than the sun every day.
We are trying to reduce our carbon footprint, and students have been involved in that and continue to be involved.
The students in my research methods class did an assessment of environmental stewardship on campus. One group looked at chemical use for house cleaning and buildings and ground. Another looked at energy use. Another looked at water use.
There's also the Chesapeake semester, which really explores the Chesapeake Bay and sustainability surrounding the Chesapeake Bay. There's also Chesapeake Regional Studies, which explores some of these environmental programs.
The dining hall is continuously trying to incorporate sustainable ways of eating.
Other programs are George Goes Green.
Looking at George Goes Green as an environmental sustainability effort. That's phenomenal. That spoke to me as a teacher, as an individual, as a researcher when I was applying for this job actually, that they, as an institution, took environmental stewardship seriously enough to integrate that into an annual program of stewardship on campus. I thought that was very cool.
Currently, there are geothermal systems to help support the heating and air conditioning on campus. There's been some suggestions of putting solar panels on campus to help offset some of the electricity usage that we have. And then in general, just conservation of energy, and I think that's probably our best bet overall for the country as well as Washington College to reduce our consumption.
Something that I really would like to see is a community garden that supplies some local food to the dining hall.
I'm really hoping that Kelsey Hallowell and Amanda Anastasia and a bunch of us get to do this student-run community vegetable garden, both for the students at Washington College and for the community members of Chestertown.
A lot of these big things in the food movement, organic farming, local foods, these simple foods, all these things are not new. They're new to us when we look back over the past 50 years, but they're not new if we look over 200,000 years. We're just recapturing, all of these ideas. So food was always local in the past. Food was always organic in the past. Food was wild in many cases.
The Environmental Club cuts across disciplines to get involved with projects that might have a year-long cycle, that might have a 2 or 3 year long cycle, that show the richness of interdisciplinary collaboration.
That there could be changes in the environment, drastic changes that for us manifest themselves in strawberries that cost $2 more at Acme. And unless that makes or break you being able to buy those strawberries, you don't even take notice of it. One of the themes with the Chesapeake semester is sustainability. And I hope they continue to engage local farmers on different levels.
We've got a lot of great stuff in place.
Composting and recycling.
And I love the fact that we've got a sustainability committee that's looking at how much of our curriculum involves sustainability. I was happy to be able to say that, yes, I deal with some of that in my classes.
If we begin to eat seasonally, eat locally, go to farmers markets, we get to climb out of this cultural environment that we've created, and with air conditioning and strawberries being shipped across the world, that we really get to understand seasonality, get to understand what our environment can produce.
That is applied work, solving arguably one of the most challenging, one of the most pressing problems that our generations face.
Sustainability is challenging because of so many assumptions about our culture that it questions.
Students are taught how in their own lives to live sustainably and how to reflect that in their careers and their relationships with other people.
And the relationship with the world and everyone in it. You don't need to win a seat in Congress to make change happen.
We are going to have to face really serious challenges in our lives, and things aren't going to be the same as they were for our parents' generation, so we need to be prepared.